If you get involved with the matrix, you're going to have an unsuccessful life. That's the goal of the matrix. If you get involved with the energy, it allows you to have a successful life. Why? Because the matrix is all about generating adversity and difficulty and keeping you worried and confused. All those things will stop you. Whereas the energy is about generating wonder and gliding. For some of you who have been here before, you know that what I'm going to say is so important, because for so many people in this course who've taken it over the different times that I've given this course, and each time I give it, it's different, that it's been described as a life-changing event for people. That actually it's a life-changing event for you and your loved ones. And so it gives you an opportunity to actually find a new meaning for your life and for your goals and for everything that you want to go accomplish in your life. One of the things that I get reports on from so many people over and over again about this course is that it allows people to overcome things, allows them to get through so many obstacles that just seem to show up in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening that you weren't expecting, and you zoom right through those things and then get on to succeeding at the next thing so that you can keep going, so that your whole day becomes this big long list of successes rather than pushbacks from the matrix. The most important thing about this course is that throughout the course you'll be getting energy, and it's a certain type of energy. This energy is very specific energy, and this energy is to not only empower you to accomplish in one arena of your life, but actually, as many people have found out, that there's so many aspects of your life that you'd like for the energy to be applied to, and because the energy is so central, it will work towards each one of those areas, whether you're in an artist field or whether you're a financial person, whether you're a pilot, whether you're a writer. It doesn't matter what your particular present goal is, the energy somehow gets behind you and works to not only make the way easier, but to keep you up and going in a direction that you want to go. However, to be in this course is not always the most calm event. This course I describe a lot like being on a sailboat. You know, I like to sail, and this course is a lot like sailing. And you know, in sailing, you're out there in the middle of the ocean, and the waves are coming, and the wind is coming, and your sails are doing great, and then all of a sudden the wind changes. And then when the wind changes, you don't get to go, well, gee, I guess we won't go, or I guess we won't make it to our destination. No, you immediately run to the other side and change your tack, change the sails, move them in different direction, pick up the wind, and then you're off and going again. Now, your pathway may not be the same straight path you thought you were going to be going. You may be going like this and like this to get to your path, but that's the way it was set up on this planet. So we get a lot to say about what we're going to do about the wind. We don't get much to say about when the wind's going to come and which direction it's going to come from, right? So really, you're going to need to be on your toes in this course, just like in life, to be able to change quickly from one topic to the next topic to the next thing, so that you can take all the energy in that goes with each area we're talking about. Deal? Deal. I didn't see everybody raise their hand. All right, good. Yeah, all right, good. Yeah, you were going, well, maybe I can change the wind. There hasn't been. Nobody's been able to do that. But you can get yourself to a condition where you're able to respond to the wind, so it looks like no matter which way the wind changes, you're able to change with it, so that it looks like you two are moving together. Now, if you have a cell phone or a pager, please turn it off. So take your cell phone out and take a look at it. The whole key on cell phones is if you don't look at it, that's the one that stays on. And Jim's holding the microphone. So Jim's holding the microphone in the back. He'll show you that you want to hold the microphone, about maybe 4 fingers away from your mouth. You don't need to hold the microphone on your mouth or on your chin. Just hold it about 4 fingers away. And then you're perfect, and everybody can hear you. See Jim? Here he is, perfect, demonstrating it. All right, great. Now, in this course, there's times You won't see me using a big mic because sometimes I get very loud. And the times that I get very loud or very intense happens to do with times when we're talking about a thing that I call the matrix. And the matrix is sort of this, a combination or accumulation of sort of all the things that occur in life that seem to push back against us when we're trying to go towards the direction we want to go, or push back against us when we're like got these great plans and all of a sudden nothing happens. So I call that the matrix. And sometimes when people will be expressing the matrix, there'll be this intensity that'll come out while I'm talking, and I want you to know that has nothing to do with you. That just means I want to point out that particular area. I have the ultimate respect for you all, and really, I really thrill with the fact that you're here, and I don't want anyone to be offended. So hands up, no one's going to get offended if the mood goes up and down. Good. All right, now, one thing that's really exciting is that in this course, it's a working course, and you're going to have a chance to do a lot of different things throughout the whole course. You'll be moving, and you'll be talking, and you'll be writing, and you'll be learning, and it's really exciting. But before we do that, I want you to stand up and say hello to 4 people. Good. Okay. Great. Now, some of you have been here before, some of you are new, and what you need to recognize is that the opportunity to say hello to the people happens more than one time during this course, and it's a useful opportunity to really get to connect with people in the energy, with the energy, and through the energy. And you'll find it really is exhilarating. Now, since the last time we were together, I've gotten lots and lots and lots of emails and faxes and phone calls about people's successes, and it's really been dramatic, really wonderful. So I want to have a chance for everybody to share different victories for all of us using the energy since the last time we were together. So everybody that has a victory or some success where they've been using the energy, please raise your hand. I want to see your hands. And then the rest of the people's victories who are afraid to share, yes, anyway. And still, you know that it's a great thing. Yeah, think about it. Think about some of your victories. That's it. Think about it. All right, good. Now we got some people's hands up. Okay, so this young lady in white.
So I didn't plan on raising my hand, but my lovely friend Judy suggested that I raise my hand. And really my main win is that I'm somewhere between 14 and 15 weeks pregnant. Yeah. And so I just wanted to share that with everyone. And you know what I was thinking before I stood up was I've had a goal the whole time that I expand in the energy. And it's been amazing. Like I quite literally have expanded in the energy. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And she's still doing all her yoga, right?
Oh yeah, and I'm still teaching a lot of yoga. I assist my teacher. He's a great teacher. And I assisted him at the Yoga Journal Conference last weekend, and I did like 9 hours of yoga each day. And so it's amazing. And handstands, you can still do handstands when you're pregnant.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You can still do handstands when you're pregnant. You can still do all the yoga exercises, and there's all yoga for pregnancy and yoga for everything else. So yeah. Enjoy it. Your body really appreciates it.
And if you are ever pregnant and you need to know how to get your baby unbreached, I know a lot of tricks now. So come and see me.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Way to go.
Thanks.
Okay, who else? Okay. Matt, go for it.
Well, I had written goals when I started in the energy, basically about business production and starting, being around Barbara Joe, seeing her wins in the energy for a couple of years now. I reached high and had some challenges along the way and in the fourth quarter and faced them and had some adversity, but that also challenged me to do a lot of internal work and review some of the things that I've been doing and my priorities. And the bottom line is it's turned out to be a major win for me. My production goals have come in, and my relationship with the firm I'm in has improved dramatically. And so it's a very much a healthier situation, and so I'm just really pleased with that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Way to go. Yeah, all businesses have cycles, and your job is to work your way through the cycles of the ups, the cycles through the downs, the cycles through the middles, and then start to create your own cycles within those cycles. And then you'll start to see all kinds of victories. And what gives you that bridge to create that is the energy. The energy allows you to connect to not only your present ideas, but also become much more inventive and imaginative for newer ideas, and be able to then have the power and the force to go forward to carry those ideas out and be successful in a whole new way. So congratulations, Matt. Way to go. Okay. Doug, you're so excited. All the way in the back, all the way in the back.
Okay, I have several things to share. One I'm so excited about. I have spent my life, thank you, I have spent my life resisting. I'm easily enrolled in everything. You know, I want to do everything. And then when I sign up, what comes up immediately is, I don't want to go. I don't want to have a phone call to be coached. I just don't want to, you know. And most of you who know me know that I'm committed to fun. I'm committed to having a fun and joyful life. Well, I wasn't having much fun and joy doing things this way. And so I set a goal at the last session that I wanted to start re-enrolling myself. Like when I've chosen to do something, then I want to do it. And I want to do it joyfully and cheerfully and happily. You know, and okay, you would expect that I would get this goal, right? But let me tell you what, I got that goal in 3 days. I was like, oh my God. You know, and what I saw from that is I can have anything really that I want in my life. You know, and all I've got to do is set goals, take the action in the energy, and I can have it. The second thing that I did was I also, the 1st of November, set a goal to make an extra $2,000 a month in work that I could do at home and work that I love. Well, this gentleman...
Wait. So all of you are going, what kind of goal is that? You want to make more money and stay at home? How are you going to do that? Somebody's going to knock on your door and say you won the publisher's prize or something?
That's
so how is she going to do that? Doesn't sound too possible. But with the energy, the opportunity to create things and become more imaginative really blossoms. Go ahead.
Right.
So what happened?
Yeah, about the only action I took around that was I just started speaking it. And a friend of mine sent this 81-year-old gentleman to me, and he wanted to get his book ready to be published. I'm a crackerjack word processor, desktop publisher. I was in the legal industry for 47 years. I'm a fast typist. This guy comes and we just sit there at the computer, you know, every few days, and we have a blast. And I tell you, the thing that was so cool about it was like being with my grandfather, who hasn't been around in many years. And it was the same kind of relationship. We would spar, you know, and kid each other. And I just felt so comfortable with him. I made suggestions about his book. And every time he came over, he was like, it was my lucky day, the day I found you. And he just would thank me, and it was just the coolest, most wonderful experience.
And that's her work. Coolest, most wonderful experience. Do you hear those two words were in the same sentence? Not usually they go together. People go, work? No. That's something I suffer through and then get off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Here's her work as the most coolest, wonderfulest experience. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
It's just that it was up to the matrix. You won't create that goal. You really won't. You'll go, no, it can't be. It can't be. It's not something that happens.
Well, I ended up, after 2 months of working with him, his book was complete. He loves it. I love it. And I added up what he had paid me, and it was just over $2,000. I'd reached my goal. And out of that, I'm now helping a friend design his cover for his book, and an attorney has wanted to know, do you want to do some typing? I love to type. It's like my most favorite thing. It's awesome.
Well, wait, she already has 2 more jobs to follow up on this one job. So
Oh,
she's
and
not
he's
gonna...
got 2 more books to do. Yeah.
Great.
So that happened. And then I think I might have shared in the last session that I'm on this weight control program. Did I share about that? And I went all through the holidays. First off, I had the most joyful holidays.
Yay.
Really. And food was such an important part of my life, and to have that huge thing missing during the holidays when I love it the most, But I went to 3 Thanksgiving feasts. I never put one thing in my mouth I never wanted to that wasn't on my program. So I stuck with it. I lost weight all through the holidays. I'm down 30 pounds now and 45 inches. So, Can I do just one more quickie?
Yeah, but all the people that want to lose weight, what do you think, huh? You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
That's
you
the
just
way
have
to
to
do
get in action, make a goal, use the energy, and then you'll stay on purpose.
Right. I just want to say I really thank you, Dr. B, and I'm so grateful for the energy. But I also want to thank Rebecca, my facilitator. She has kept me on the straight and narrow. Mostly what she does is just help me refine my goals in a way that they're powerful and that I can easily go after them. And then those facilitator calls, the group calls, are just wonderful. I just thank all the facilitators and everybody who shared on those calls. I got on every call. Sometimes I was busy and I would think I can't, but I'd get on the calls and I would always get a jewel or 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's a gift. Those
Yeah.
facilitator calls and the group calls are gifts from us to you.
Right.
And you're like going through your day going, well, I don't want that gift. I don't have time for a gift. How does that make any sense?
Yeah.
You have time for a gift. You have time to have somebody make a little jewel and put it in your life as you go
Right.
forward carrying towards your goal of whether it's weight loss or more business or more finances or more health. So take advantage of your facilitators. I work with them. I love what they're doing with you all, and I love the group calls, and congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Wait. Okay, hands. Now that's better, that's better. Oh, Johnny.
How about this? Is that good?
That's excellent. One thing I want to introduce Johnny. Johnny flew in this morning, thanks to Hero Irv.
Yay, Irv. Yay, Irv.
Matter of
Grateful
fact,
for
Irv
Irv.
flew in, a whole group of people. Everybody stand up that Irv flew in. They left early in the morning just to be here with you all. How do you feel?
Yeah, we feel great.
I know you just came this morning and brushed your teeth and ate your breakfast and did your normal complaints and, looked at the traffic and came here. And these people are on a plane zooming down to be with you. Yeah. So something exciting's happening. Something's moving. Something's vibrating. Go ahead.
First of all, Pat, you're a tough act to follow. You're awesome. Nice job. I have a passion for Israel and a passion for wine. And I have started a wine touring business in Israel. and if you want to talk to me about it after the break, you can. But I have been, throughout 2010, writing goals associated with my wine touring business in Israel. And one of those goals was to have my first customer in 2010. And it was, probably end of November, and I'm still writing the goal for this, have this first customer by 2010. And then a good friend of mine said he was going to Israel and he'd like to go on a wine tour because he knew about my business. And unfortunately, it did not work for him. When he was coming there, there was a wine expo in Tel Aviv, and all the small boutique wineries were closed because they were attending the wine expo. And then about maybe 3 or 4 days later, I got a call from his daughter, who was coming to Israel because her sister-in-law was having a baby, and she became my first customer.
Yay!
So I've got my first customer, and hopefully in the next couple weeks, I'll have my website up as well.
Great.
Thanks to the energy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So where did they fly from? Does anybody want to know? They tell them, no, you didn't fly from Israel. They flew this morning from Kansas City. Yeah. Yeah, no more snowstorm. No more snowstorm. Okay, young man, what is it? Go for it.
Hi, everybody. Can you hold that? Let's see, a couple things. I need to update with my friend. My neck went from 19 inches to 18 inches.
Yay.
So, and all my clothes now are. I went to work the other day, and this guy walked up. He says, "You need to get a new jacket. You need to get new clothes, because all these clothes are too big." So that's one thing. It's really going well.
Yay.
Thank you. The other is I've learned a lot in the last month about sailing and watching the air direction change. I went in for just a simple test at the hospital, and I ended up being there for Christmas and mostly all the way to New Year's. And there are some changes that I'm dealing with at the moment. One is that at the moment I'm not able to read or to write. Those two things. Had a small incident, and but what's interesting is where's Ronnie? You know that lesson that you got about not doing it yourself? I learned I have a case of that myself. I wanted to try and handle. And something like that you cannot handle by yourself. So Stu's my partner. He stepped up. Jesse came for the holidays. Jamie came down to support finishing I wanted to finish my house by Christmas. Didn't quite get there by my goal, but it's done now. The whole house is redone with Judy and a bunch of people. So, and some of the things the doctors have said, don't know if this can be fixed or that kind of thing can be fixed. What's interesting is as we keep going, we just keep going until we find a doctor that says, yeah, I think that can be handled, and which sounds familiar. Many of you have done those kinds of things. So it's a very different life and a very different year than I was expecting this new year to be. And Dr. B is certainly being very supportive, and I'm going to go see him in a couple weeks. But it's what's interesting is that I'm really not nearly as attached to how things ought to be or how they ought to look than I used to be. It's kind of like, well, I might eventually move, or I might do something different, or I might, whatever, might get a place in town. I mean, kind of thing. It's kind of just there's a lot of things happening, but it's a sense of freedom, not a sense of issue. Every once in a while I have a bad day, but for the most part, it's the possibility and a lot of great people showing up around me, and all's going to be fine. It's just going to be well. And in the meantime, it is not the way that I expected it for the year. No, could never have written it this way. I think that's it.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
thank
one
you.
of the things that this diagram has been around for a long time. Long time. And it has a lot to say. There's a lot of things that we'll go over in this lecture course, each session that has something to connect to this diagram. But as you notice, the diagram is not a straight line. It's not a straight line. As much as you'd like to say, okay, I'm planning to go from here to here, if the way this world's set up, you're going to do it on a round earth. So you're not going to be going a straight line. You're going to be actually going on a curve. And then you're also going to be going on an earth that's rotating on its axis at the same time. And then you're going to be going on an earth that's rotating around, the sun. All those you're compensating for while you think you're going on a straight line from here to there. Interesting, huh? But unless you take into consideration that you're going to have to be compensating for each part of the trip as you go along this trip. If you look at it just from here to here, it looks like it's a straight line, doesn't it? Can you see? If you just look at a little small, like our limited vision, looks like, if you look from here to, oh, that's a straight line. But really, as you look at it from the larger side, you see it's not a straight line. So this diagram has a lot of information in it that we'll go over. Every single lecture, there'll be something that will come out of it. And what's exciting is that it all will bear fruit. It will all allow you to keep going. It will all allow you to get through whatever it is you have to get through in the morning and the afternoon and the evening, and then any interruptions or surprises, and still come out on top. So we all want him to have the best success possible in the future, right? And we all want him to pull through, but he's already pulled through massively ahead of where a lot of people would have pulled through what he's already accomplished. I mean, this whole thing just happened in December. And he's already zooming forward, standing up, sharing in front of groups, doing things, moving ahead, has a lot of people supporting him. That's not the way most people do it. Most people go kaboom, kaboom. That's it. And then they go, I'm going to watch TV the rest of my life. That's what I'm going to do, or sit on the couch. But we're not going to do that. That's matrix. That's ridiculous. When you wanted to leave this morning to come from Kansas City, you still imbued yourself with the energy, you fueled yourself with it, you kept your goal going, and even though the weather may have been this, that, or the other, you were able to work your way through it and then land safely, and everything worked out perfectly. Once again, that's the pattern. Once again, you're going to be able to do that. There's going to be all this flack in front of you, and then once again, you're going to be successful on each day that you bring yourself forward. The mistake is when you don't pull for the energy and then try to go forward into the wild blue yonder of life, and instead go, well, no, I'm not the one to be doing this. This really isn't me. It should be somebody else. Somebody else should be doing this job called me. But there isn't. This lifetime, this is what God created, All right, who else? Let's go. All right, you pulled her hand up. Let's see what it is.
Okay, well, I'm Carrie Fodry, and I've been here since August, and I've got so many miracles I'd take the whole time telling you. I think the most obvious miracle for me is I had surgery, and 2 weeks later I was here. I had a real bad colon surgery, and then I got this real bad rash that was all over my body, and I had a treatment with Dr. B, and it was gone in 3 days, and I had it for 2 months. And I mean, it's just one after another. But I think the newest thing for me is that I'm learning to have a love relationship with the energy and a love affair with the energy. And I'm never alone. I'm always with my partner. And my partner is always reaching for me. And so all I have to do is reach back. So it's much simpler than I made it. So, and then she has another miracle.
Well, Carrie's part of that miracle, because I was in the hallway at one of the lectures and I saw her name tag said Fodry at the back, at the bottom. And there's a famous Olympic rider in this country named Will Fodry. And I just had to ask, do you know this? Are you any relation? She goes, that's my son. And what started 2 months ago is together we organized a clinic here in Austin. And neither of us had ever done that before, and wrote goals. And last weekend, her son came to Austin, and we had 16 people riding the clinic from Houston and San Antonio, and a local tack shop threw a wine and cheese party for us, completely energy, like, oh, can we throw a wine and cheese party for you so Will can give a talk? And, it was just this sort of magic of write a goal, and out of nothing comes this amazing experience. And so, and connection, too.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you have to bring the photos of Will Faudree and all the other things that came on with your show. That's great. Yeah, we want to see them. Okay, who else? A victory using the energy. Let's see. Come on. Behind. Go.
Someone once told me there are 3 ways of meeting people. And one kind would be like a flower. When you meet, it's beautiful, and within 1 or 2 weeks, it just dies. And and the second kind of meeting is like a fish, and it's within a few days, smells stinks. And the third kind of meeting is like a handkerchief. When you have bad days, good days, sad days, happy days, you can share your tales and hardships and difficulties. So when I was in Korea on a volunteer work, as I've been doing it for many, many years, I knew even though I was in Korea and energy was present with me every minute of it. And there are so many things that I can share, but there are a few things that I can tell you was, every time when I travel and I get sick, just throw up and just don't handle any food in my stomach. This year, I wasn't sick at all. I was really doing the job that I was supposed to for 2 different organizations, for the NAR and CCIM. And I was running around like a crazy, like Energizer Bunny. Wake up in the morning and I'm just gone, and I come back and I was just doing breathing exercise. So not being sick and being able to handle my job, it was just so beautiful. And also I ended up publishing a book that I've been doing it for 2 years that's translated in English.
Yay.
So that was big also. And the second book is on the way as well.
Yay.
And after coming back from business trip in November, and I only had 2 days to prepare for a slides to be a speaker in international forum, but it went beautiful. And I just felt like my meetings with the people around there was just like a handkerchief. I didn't ask for it, I just spoke about things and it was already done. And just people around me, just beautiful. And I just wanted to thank, no matter where you are, even you're in different country, energy was always there. And I had to call the hotline for a few times that when I get low in my energy, but right after that, and I got right back, just like Energizer Bunny. Thank you.
Yay. So while you're doing the exercises from this lecture course and you're in Austin or you're in Kansas City, she's doing the exercises in Korea and getting the same benefit of the excitement of the energy fueling her body so she can go out and be an Energizer Bunny. So when you get up in the morning, don't just get up in the morning and go, well, I guess I'm just me and I'm alone and it's me in the bathroom or me taking a shower and I'm just alone in the world. Actually, you've got this whole energy community that at the same time as getting up in the morning and doing their exercises and getting connected to the energy and going out and making something happen. So really you're joining a community of people who want to make something happen, which is kind of fun. So you sort of got some people along with you that are yay, who are excited about your goals and especially excited about you connecting the energy to be successful. So the space in which you're occupying to get your goals done is much larger than, and what's available to you is much larger than what you recognize. And the energy, yeah, is all over the globe. It will go to Korea, goes to India, goes to Kansas City, goes to wherever you are. That's what's really great, because it's a force that is available both through the planet and outside the planet. So it's actually available, completely permeates the whole thing. So you get a chance to draw on it wherever you are. So don't think, well, I just moved to Italy and I can't do it or something like that. It has nothing to do with that at all. You can just as soon be fired up in the middle of the Vatican as you can be here. So it doesn't matter. Okay, who else? I see a hand, I see a hand, I see a hand.
We'll have an update on my relationship with Bud. The Matrix, I think, teaches us that you just lose love somehow. But it occurred to me to set a goal of going sweeter and deeper. And that's really been happening for me. So thank you, Dr. B.
Congratulations. Yeah, so everybody wants to have love be something which becomes more enriching and develops deeper and becomes more fulfilling, right? But you have to ask for that. You have to want that. Otherwise, the Matrix is going to show you what's happening in Us magazine and what's happening in People magazine and how everybody's breaking up with everybody and how everybody's having an affair on everybody. And that's it. That's what occupies your brain. And your brain has the ability to focus on things that you put there. So it's up to you. Go ahead.
And all my life, I've been a singer, and I have written some songs, and I've wanted to sing, but for 40 years, there's been something holding me back. And Friday, I went to the house, and I mentioned to a group of people that I had written a new song. This new song just came to me, and it's about the energy.
Really?
Yeah, it's about the energy. And so Sue said to me, why don't you sing it Sunday?
She did? Why didn't she tell me? I just picked you because the editor just said go. Why, you have the song with you?
I have it.
Can you sing it?
Yeah, and Craig.
Is that okay with everybody?
Craig said it was okay.
All right,
Craig
go.
Craig said he would play the djembe.
Wait a minute, I wasn't even informed about this. Craig's here with instruments.
So,
We've got a 20-piece band outside.
so I just want to say that yesterday I woke up and I was terrified, and I thought, there's that feeling that's held me back for 40 years, actually, from doing what I want to do. There
Stop.
it is. There's
What
that
is she
feeling.
talking about? Yeah, and what that feeling? You know that feeling? Yeah, you know that feeling? Yeah, it's going to return over and over and over again every day until you learn to swat it out like a fly that comes in your house. And then the flies will stop bothering you. But that's what you're going to have to do. You didn't create the flies. You didn't create the matrix. It sort of just comes in, and if you can just whisk it out and not make a big deal about it and move forward towards your song that you need to sing that day, whatever song you're going to create, whatever song you're going to manifest, then you're going to have a productive day and you're going to feel great. Go ahead, what else?
So I just said, well, I want to throw up right now, but
Right now you want to throw up?
No, I'm excited. I just set a goal to feel so excited and so much love to share with you, and I'm just shaking because I'm so excited.
See, she's actually performing in front of you, excited, untrained, shaking. Sounds like you, doesn't it? Sounds like you going to work or going into your job or whatever else you're doing or starting your painting or starting a book or whatever it is you're trying to create. You don't go in there like Rambo. You go in there with all kinds of thoughts, feelings, emotions, and then a lot of people will tell you, and the Matrix will just shove it down and then step on top of it and keep going. Well, that creates a lot of Rambo-inness. What she's doing is she's expressing it when it's early, when it's real small, when she first notices it. And then she's reaching for the energy, which is always much stronger no matter what size your matrix is. And then she's moving forward, moving around the fly. Just keep going. Keeps going around the path. All right, go ahead.
So I had to take an action. I came out of the bathroom yesterday, and there was Craig. And I knew, the song needs a djembe. So I went up to Craig and said, hey, you want to play the djembe for me? And he was so gracious. I mean, beautiful. So,
But
anyway,
all of you
this,
think you have to be so tough and strong and gear yourself up, and you have to be a 350-pound football player on TV to be able to even get anything done during the day. That's not true. She's wonderful. And she's fantastic. And she's not big and bulky and running around with flexing her muscles. She's actually said, I had to ask Craig. You know? But that voice will work. It's okay. Just get it out. All right, go ahead.
so the song is called Jamba, and that's my word for the energy.
Say it again louder. What is it called?
Jamba.
Jamba.
Jamba, which is my
Jamba.
word for the. It just came to me about 3 weeks ago. I have the words written down because I'm still playing with the words. But anyway, here it goes. There is a river of life, I like to call it the Jamba. It flows through us, so happy and free. This river of life is always celebrating and calling us to a jamboree. So jump on in and get carried away. Jump on in, your heart knows the way. When we're back laughing and our work is play, we're back in the river of Jamba. All of nature lives in the Jamba. Our dogs and cats, they live there too. The little children all live in Jamba. They're calling out for me and you. So jump on in and get carried away. Jump on in, your heart knows the way. When we're back laughing, our work is all play. We're back in the river of Jamba. Einstein played in the river of Jamba. That's where he learned about MC squared. Genius abounds in this river of Jamba. It's waiting for us all to share. So jump on in and get carried away. Sing with me. Jump on in, your heart knows the way. When we're back laughing and our work is all play, we're back in the river of Jamba. So pack up your troubles, take them down to the Jamba. Before you know it, they'll have floated away. When we're busy celebrating, only joy and love can stay. So jump on in and get carried away. Jump on in, your heart knows the way. When we're back laughing, our work is all play, and we're back in the river of Jamba. So jump on in and get carried away. Jump on in, your heart knows the way. When we're back laughing, our work is all play, and we're back in the river of Jamba. We're back in the river of Jamba. We're back in the river of Jamba. I asked Dr. B to energize that goal to write songs, and thank you, Dr. B.
So when you were getting ready to come this morning, when you got out of bed, grump, 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 and got yourself ready to come and was going, oh, I don't know whether I'm going to, what's going to happen, and sure it'll be worth it, I'm sure, but who knows what it's going to be. Well, that who knows what it's going to be was this. So when you hear those grump, grump, grumps in the morning, you say, no, that's not true. There's a song out there waiting for me. Something new that's going to inspire me, that's going to make my life really exciting. And it isn't imaginary. It's actually very real. And you can connect to it every day with your facilitator groups just to make sure, or your facilitator. So I welcome you to this whole life that the Matrix would never want you to have. that has all this wonderful music in it, singing, and surprise instruments showing up from nowhere. And they didn't even tell me she was to sing a song. I just picked her because the energy said this one. So your life can be like that, just like today. And you want to remember that when you go to bed at night, and remember that when you wake up, instead of grump, 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 grump. Okay, we have a wonderful synopsis of the difference between the energy and the matrix for everybody to get an understanding of what's the differentiating factors between the energy and the matrix. And we have a little review. Okay, so we're going to hand out a piece of paper later, so you can take notes now, but you don't have to take such detailed notes because there's so much data in what I'm saying that it's much easier just to get it off the piece of paper later. But there's some basic elements that make up the energy and basic elements that make up obtaining the energy, getting to the energy. You've seen the results, the examples with everyone sharing, okay? But one of the ways that you get the energy is that you very much have got to reach for it each day. And so that means you reach for it. Everyone says, oh yeah, well, I'm in this wonderful state where I'm just floating and everything's jumba and I'm just fine, and then I reach for it. No. When you wake up and it's grump, 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 then you want to reach for it. Or when you're in the middle of being successful on the way to driving on the freeway, you want to reach for it. You want to get the fact that reaching for it is your responsibility this lifetime. That's not such a big responsibility. It's just yours. You get to do it. Now, how often should you reach for it? Well, so many people have reported to me in their sharing and in reports over the years that, well, there's even a quote here, the more you get the gift of the energy, the better off you are. So what's going on in your day is up to you. You want to make every hour valuable, make goals, draw on the energy, and you'll have that result. If you want to make one thing happen in your day, then just make one goal and make that your result. Now, how do you experience the energy? A lot of people would say, oh, I think it's a vibration. Other people think it's a sound. Other people think it's a sensation. Some people think it's a visual. It really doesn't matter. God created everybody's body a little bit different, not that much. Little bit. Little bit. Not that much. Little bit different. So you have certain qualities that you can accentuate easier than other people. So some people can see colors easier, some people can see or can feel things easier, some people can hear sounds. One of the things that people know about with the energy is that most of your sensory complex of your body becomes accentuated once you keep accessing the energy. So you either hear things more clearly, or you see things more clearly, or you smell things more clearly, taste food differently. We had some lady yesterday saying that was the best apple she'd ever eaten, and it was just exciting just after she got treated. So don't look for it to be the same every day. Some days it'll be just that you're successful because you're flowing in a certain direction. Now, there's a certain quality that's not so present in the world in which you just get born into. And in that world is where the matrix hangs out and usually pushes back and tries to get you to form a certain pattern. So this quality that'll hold you in good stead and get you to connect to the energy and get you to be able to make up a song, jamba, and any other kind of song you want to make for your day is reverence. So you really need to recognize that, how much reverence am I doing each day? Probably you could do more. Doesn't cost anything, yet people will resist doing it. People will go, I'm too busy to do reverence, I don't have time. Or I've got these, architectural plans I've got to do, I can't be reverent. However, you can. At the same time that you're creating a business, a bumper business, or whatever you're doing, you can be reverent. So it doesn't matter whether you're working on cars or whether you're working on architectural plans or whether you're working on songs, you can still be reverent. It's a vibrational condition which allows you to connect to the energy much quicker and easier. And it's a very, very old vibration, and it's very essential to the energy. So I welcome you to be looking towards how to develop your ability to be reverent. The other thing you want to do, besides being reverent, is you want to be in the spirit of enjoyment. Now, you saw the way she sang the song, right? Now, as she was singing the song, she was beginning to enjoy singing it. She beginning to enjoy singing it a little bit more. And then about halfway through, she was really enjoying singing it, right? So there's this opportunity to gradually work your way up throughout the day to start. You don't have to start jumping out of bed and go, yeah, but you want to try to work your way up through the day as you sing your song each day of what song you're going to sing, that you start enjoying your day more and start enjoying things and keep expanding throughout the day so that your day is like her song, where at the end she was just totally thrilled with the opportunity to sing for y'all. So there's sort of a choice you have every moment. God set that up. It's not the way I would have set it up. I would have made it real easy, no choice, just wake up, it's all set up for you. But you still have to choose each day. And you get to choose to evolve and expand with the energy, or you can just sit back on the couch and eat potato chips and watch TV and then just think that, it's the weather's too bad for me to go out. Sometimes you have that thought. Or the work's too tough for me to compete. Or I'm the wrong person to be me. Someone else needs to do me. So one of the things that you want to do is all the things that we really make it very easy for you to do, which is working with your facilitators, being on the facilitation group call. These are gifts. Have written goals every day. And what do you want to do about contrast? You really want to share every day some contrast about how things were different from the beginning of your day through the next hour to the next hour to the next hour. As you notice, you could write a contrast that you came into this lecture today and it started out good, and then the contrast was it got great. And next contrast will be, and then it got even better. So that's the way life can be with the energy. But if you don't denote the contrast, if you don't take the time to actually record the contrast, the matrix is recording all the time the things where you fail, or the things where things are not right, or the things where your button's missing, or the time that you stubbed your toe, or the time that somehow you messed up something. It's just part of that system. And if you let it get louder than you're denoting the contrast that you're seeing, the reality, then you'll start being given a false reality, which won't allow you to make up a song that's going to be your life. So you actually have to wake up. You have to wake up each day. You can't go through your day as duh. You have to go through your day awake. And yes, you're going to have to wake up each day. Once you're out of that bed, you have to wake up. Life started. So the matrix, you all know the definitions. I've given it, but it's pretty much the parts of life that don't serve you. It's the parts of life that don't support you, that sort of keep you from being connected to the energy. So I actually made a contrast between the matrix and the energy, and I'm going to hand out this diagram to you, and it'll be very easy for you to understand. So the matrix is what seems to be happening, and the energy is what's really happening. Now, that can be a surprise for you each day, what's really happening. Because a lot of people wake up and they go right into the matrix. Do you know what I mean? So what I want you to recognize is you may have to break out of the matrix in the morning to start seeing what's really happening for you. If you get involved with the matrix, you're going to have an unsuccessful life. That's the goal of the matrix. If you get involved with the energy, it allows you to have a successful life. Why? Because the matrix is all about generating adversity and difficulty and keeping you worried and confused. All those things will stop you. Whereas the energy is about generating wonder and gliding. So that you're going through life in a gliding feeling. And it's going to allow you to focus more clearly and allow you to differentiate your best options so that she can pick the words to make up the song to sing to you. Those words didn't exist until she differentiated what words would fit together and what melody to put together and what music. She had to do all that. That's our responsibility using the energy. But when you use the energy, it's a gliding experience. Whereas when you're using the matrix, it's a very restrictive experience. People have described being in the matrix as like having a tourniquet around your neck, around your arms, and around your legs. You wake up maybe in that way, or you get involved in that during the day, or you get in an argument with someone, and you start feeling that restriction. Whereas when you're in the energy, it's a freeing feeling. You sort of become more sufficient. And you increase your sufficiency as the day goes on. You want to look forward to that. Your sufficiency may start out at this level in the morning, but as it goes on, it's going to strengthen because you're going to keep reaching for the energy, so it'll strengthen throughout the day. Now, if you don't do that, if you don't reach for it, don't worry. The matrix is right there. Actually, you should worry, but because the matrix is right there, because the matrix happens automatically. So the matrix is right there, automatic, unfair, too bad, that's the way it is, sorry. The only fair is in Pomona. But the point is that the matrix is going to start automatically every day. It's just going to happen every day. You, however, have the power, using the energy, to reach for the energy and focus, and then the energy surfaces in your consciousness. But you have to take action. Action, action. That's what you're here for, action. The matrix is easy to surface in your consciousness. So sometimes you'll be driving along and then you'll hear this voice or someone will say, blah, 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 and you'll go, what an interruption that is. It has nothing to do with my driving. It can even get you off from making the right, correct turn. That's sort of like the matrix. Matrix is like a little dog nipping at you ever see one of those small dogs that goes, and it's nipping at your cuff of your pants and doesn't leave you alone, it's constantly pulling on it? That's the matrix. We even saw a guy who actually lived at the bottom of the matrix last night, and they had a picture of him with a dog biting on his cuff. But he lived at the bottom of the matrix in terms of all the things that happened to him. One thing after the other, after the other, after the other was just a disaster. I mean, he had one disaster, he's a very well-known guy, one disaster after another, and he kept pulling himself back, but he'd pull himself back in the matrix, try to Rambo his way through. And he kept getting beaten down. Then finally, he broke out of the pattern, started reaching for the energy, and he pulled off a miracle. The energy is much different. It's like a slippery fish. And if you ever try to pick up a fish, a live fish, catch and release where you're fishing with like this, fly fishing, you pick up the fish and the fish is like if you squeeze too hard, you've squished this fish, so it dies. So that's no good. And then if you hold it too light, then the fish just jumps out and you don't even get a chance to, unhook it correctly. So the energy is very much like holding on to a slippery fish. It takes a little bit of adjusting all the time, constantly moving back and forth, being able to hold it correctly. Notice you're back to the sign again, no straight line. You constantly have to keep moving back and forth. You wake up in the morning and walk to the bathroom like this. It should all work out the way I want it to. Everything's going to be fine. And God's got it set up, says, no, you're going to have to walk this way. You got to get supple. You got to get flexible. You got to be able to adjust. So there's really a magical life that's welcoming to you with the energy. And that's really what people have described. One gentleman said, I've never felt better and I've never been happier since I've discovered the energy. Some people have described it that they feel like someone's looking out for them now. Someone's protecting them. Someone's providing things for you. Even if you're in the middle of Korea and you're running around having to do a huge amount of volunteer work on a different time zone, and usually you get sick. The energy can allow you to prevail in those circumstances and still be successful. I treated a guy with the energy and he was able to ski with a broken leg. Yeah, in a competition. So you can look as if you can feel as if and recognize if someone's looking out for you, that there's actually someone there that you can reach back to support you when you're connecting to the energy. And I've summarized this in a quote, and I'm going to give you this quote, so it'll be on the paper, but it goes like this: actively and consciously bringing forth the energy to confront this constant pressure from the matrix to have you be unsuccessful brings the energy to the foreground and has it win over the matrix to support you in evolving to sustain a successful life. So what's required is that everybody love the experience of evolving. So we're going to close our eyes now, take everything off your lap. We just changed the sails. Okay. Now move your T so that it doesn't get in the way when you move your feet. Now close your eyes and just take a deep breath down to your hips. Take a deep breath down to your feet. Now let your neck relax. Let the chair hold you. Let the chair support you. Let your pelvis just be supported by the chair. So you can actually relax your back against the chair, relax your neck, let it fall back against the chair. Just let it suspend itself. You don't have to hold it there. It'll hold itself. You just sort of let it slide back a little bit back, and then you come forward just a little bit, and then back a little bit, and then forward, and then finally there's this space where you can leave your neck, and it just holds itself. And it's okay to yawn. It's fine to yawn. Now, as you take a deep breath, you start to notice that it's possible to feel this light feeling. As you lay back and feel this light feeling, you start to see these clouds. They're ever so faint, but they'll start to appear. The clouds are a little bit pink, a little bit red, and they're so friendly. They're sort of just moving in, coming around like a mist of red and pink, and hugging you, and hugging your shoulder, and rolling over your back, rolling around your waist. These clouds are becoming more distinct. And you start to see within each cloud there's all these little sparklies, these little sparkly reflections in the cloud, so that the red has this bright red to it, and the pink has a bright pink to it, and they start to swirl around you and underneath you and on the sides of you and behind you, so that you've got this big trampoline of red and pink that just sort of lifts you up, sort of pillows you up into the air. And you feel yourself being pillowed slightly up, up. And it's not difficult. It's just sort of something you relax into. You don't have to force it. You can just start to feel this rumbling feeling, the sensation that you start to lift a bit. And these clouds, you can reach your arms out to the clouds and you can feel them, and they like pillows around you that are underneath you and behind you, under your legs. All these wonderful pillows that just keep expanding, lifting you up. Red and pink. Some people will see silk pillows. Other people will see extremely rich, deep Indian colored pillows. Some people see Chinese pillows. There's all kinds of pillows lifting you up. They're so soft, so comfortable, really peaceful, and it's okay to yawn. And as you start to rise, you start to feel your body go up. You start to notice these blue shards that come down. And the blue color that comes down is so clear. It's the most clear blue you ever have imagined. It's clearer than water. It's so clear, this blue. It actually is so clear that once you see enough of this blue, there's actually a sound that goes with it, almost like the beginning of an orchestra or the beginning of a symphony, as the blue shards start to come down and express their evanescence around you. And the blue is in the front of you and then starts to expand to the right of you and then to the left, and then behind you. You start to see this blue extend and expand all the way to the right and all the way to the left. And the blue extends in front of you as far as you can see. And you can see through this blue. That's what's so cool. It's blue, and yet it's clear. It's blue, and yet it's clear. You can see through the blue. So you're participating with this environment in a way that you're getting more than one sensory modality working while you're actually looking through this blue. And you can see in the distance, way, way, way off in the distance, these mountains that are so huge. Big mountains, huge, with snow caps reaching way up into the sky. And they surround and make a panorama way in the distance. And behind these mountains, what's interesting is you can start to see these flashes of red-orange. These flashes of red-orange are like exploding into the sky. And you see these flashes go up in the sky, and you recognize that there's volcanoes back there, way behind these mountains. Part of Mother Earth exploding the energy up into the sky and releasing the pressure valve, so that the energy is distributed throughout the whole planet in a way that you can use it. And these huge volcanoes make a thunderous sound so that you can actually hear a boom, 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 boom. And it shakes the ground, actually shakes the ground. And you watch it, and you get to see the color coming from the flash of the explosion, and then you hear the sound. So you first get to see the color, and then the boom. And it shakes everything. But it's cool. It's sort of fun. It's sort of something you can count on, like a clock that keeps moving forward and releasing and supporting you. And then way in the distance, there's this black dot that's rolling around in the sky. And as the volcanoes explode further, the black dot gets attracted to the volcano. And as that black dot gets darker and darker, it then enters into the volcano. And the power of the volcano is so strong that it just melts that black dot and explodes with this huge atomic explosion, which sends gold and silver shards way up into the sky. And there's this huge breath of release on the whole planet as this energy is released. And the silver and the gold just fills the sky and creates these streamers that roll all the way around you. And creates like this ladder. As one streamer goes above the next streamer, which goes into above the next streamer and takes you up even higher. And you can climb these streamers because your body's so much more supple with the energy. You can sort of whisk yourself up a mountain. Only you're whisking yourself up this gorgeous ladder made of gold and silver streamers. And then you take a huge breath and breathe this rarefied air way, way, way up into the universe. And clean and cleanse all the alveoli of your lung and all the bronchioles. And all the blood cells absorb this gorgeous color, and it rolls around throughout your lungs, up into your ears, into your eyes, to your brain. And there's this huge release as you feel yourself expand. Then, like a leaf that gently falls from a branch, the leaf floats to the left and the leaf floats to the right. And you notice the wind just carries that leaf down slowly to the left and slowly to the right. And then slowly that leaf reaches the grass. And the grass creates a friction and holds the leaf until it comes to a stop. And as the leaf comes to a stop under the tree, you start to feel your feet come back in the room. And it's good to rub your hands and feel some friction. And feel some friction, then put it over your eyes. And just take that in. Take that all in. It's yours to use today, tomorrow, the next day, wherever you go. Breathe that in. Then rub your hands. Feel some friction, and then gently put it over your chest. You can put one hand on top of the other or put them next to each other. They both work. And breathe that in. Good. Very good. Then rub your hands and put it over your belly button and just relax there. One hand on top of the other or one hand next to each other. And then with a big smile, And a deep breath, open your eyes and come back in the room. And we'll take a break. Now remember, the break's an opportunity to connect with other people, go to the restroom, the energies during the breaks. There's plenty of energy going to be permeating throughout the breaks. Go take action and come back quickly. We have a lot of excitement to go through today, so hurry.